Have you been feeling stuck or scattered lately within your career or business? It's almost as if your business has taken a mind of its own. If that's you, you're going to want to hear this. Have you been feeling unmotivated? Like I said, stuck or possibly even failing? You're not. You're not stuck. You're not unmotivated. You're not scattered. Even though those are behaviors that you're experiencing and you're feeling, that's not the reality. What it could possibly be is that you're working out of alignment to your soul destiny code, which is why you are here and how you're meant to be expressing your life's work. So is it possible that you're just exhibiting that shadow side? Are you aware, or do you even know what your numerology destiny number is? These behaviors and these experiences that you're feeling could simply be you're just working out of that shadow side of your destiny number. If you'd like to comment below and give me your full birth certificate name, and I will tell you exactly what your destiny number is. Now let's talk about what feeling stuck in the space of entrepreneurship or a professional career. Simply put, it's you're working so hard, but nothing is resulting, or it's not resulting the way that you have planned or are desiring. You're feeling unmotivated or disconnected to your business. You're feeling you're no longer excited and have that passion and that drive and that excitement for current projects, what's to come. You're second guessing all of your decisions and not move forward or procrastinating in making decisions, which is lack of a decision. Or you keep pivoting and trying to make different changes, yet you end up in the same spot that you began. You're tired mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And that passion that you once had has completely diminished, depleted, or is no longer there. So it has nothing to do with lack of discipline or lack of work or lack of trying or, motivation. It has everything to do with the energy that you're putting out isn't matching the energy that you're meant to be leading with. So when looking at your numerology soul codes, not only is it bringing into awareness how you're meant to be expressing your life's work, it's also showing you the shadow sides or the disconnect of when you're not aligned to how you're meant to be expressing that. So really, having that acute awareness of first and foremost what your destiny code is, and secondly, aligning to the vibration of that code of yours will simply and truly align you to that passion, that drive, that leadership in taking action. Whatever that is, you'll notice the dramatic shift, change energetically. And once you experience it, first and foremost, on that emotional level, it'll first start out in a space of, piquing your curiosity, or you'll feel that spark that you once had when you first started your business or first started that project. And then you'll notice energetically how that energy will start shifting in your real world. So what exactly is your numerology destiny number soul code? It is derived from your birth certificate name. Secondly, you can look at it as in my past videos where I've discussed your life purpose or your life path number, which is all about the journey. You could look at your destiny code as your assignment, or in other words, your how in expressing your innate gifts and your reason for being here. As entrepreneurs, how does your destiny number directly impact you and your business? On the aligned side, everything flows. You'll get an idea, you'll get excited about it, you begin to implement, and as you go through that journey, you'll see the results that you're wanting to see, and everything just flows easily and effortlessly. You'll possibly even sometimes get bombarded with so many different ideas, and they'll just flow and align very, very easily. If it's strong enough, those fears and hesitations that normally being being human won't even exist because you're in that full alignment of your destiny code, and see the possibility that opportunity brings. So now on the flip side, when you're exhibiting the shadow side of the destiny code, everything feels like hard work and it feels like it's forced. It almost feels like a chore. If you're doing a certain task and it feels like it's hard work, it feels like a chore, that may be a sign that you're exhibiting the shadow side of your destiny code. Stagnation, procrastination, perfectionism. These are all signs that you may be out of alignment to your destiny code. When you're in alignment to your code, there is no fear. There's just an innate knowing and there's a flow to it. Burning out is you're continuously putting in your time, money, energy, all that hard work, and eventually there's only so much energy that you can expense, without that energy being replenished. So when you're in alignment, again, you will continuously expense your energy, but replenish as well. But on the shadow side, you're just expensing your energy, which could eventually, how it shows up in our world, lead to burnout. And lastly, you feel lost and confused or scattered, feeling lost, or, like you're not on the right path and you're not sure which direction to go down. And that's okay. If you're exhibiting any of these, quote unquote, symptoms, it's okay, because many entrepreneurs experience this from time to time. The key thing is you don't want to be living in that space, because if you're living in that space, not only are you creating a neurological pattern of behavior, then eventually that could possibly become a belief system. And we really don't want to have those unwanted belief systems that we create ourselves. So take your time, understand who you are at those soul levels. Connect with that destiny number and see, are you exhibiting the shadow side, or are you in the aligned states? Let's go a little bit deeper into the signs that you are not aligned to your destiny code. So when you're looking at those destiny codes and the alignment, when you're not aligned, let's start out with the emotional perspectives on how that shows up in your life when you're misaligned. First and foremost, you're feeling trapped or you're feeling stuck. The potential of your business or your career that you once saw and created an elation within you is no longer there. And you're just no longer have that clarity on why you are here and what it is that you're doing. You're feeling invisible, almost as if it's like you're not even here, not knowing who you are. It could even show up as identity loss and not knowing who you are, and that feeling that comes within. It can even show up that you're going in circles. It's like the definition of insanity. You keep doing things over and over again, expecting different results, but yet everything keeps resulting in the same way. And the big one is, and this is when it gets to that point where it's reoccurring, is that loss of passion. That passion you once had for your business is no longer there. And it could lead to even just not having clarity, in why you are here and how you're meant to be servicing and contributing to the world, because you are here for a reason. And you have made those choices to be an entrepreneur and service in a way that's passionate, not hard work. And it's aligning to that vibration that is ultimately going to get you to that next phase. Now let's look at the behavioral perspectives on how being misaligned from your destiny codes show up. Not being able to do something, or not being someone, not being that person, or not being good enough, or not being worthy. These are all possible root causes that could contribute to those perfectionism and procrastination. Another aspect would be you're avoiding to complete tasks, to start or to even continue, which is again linked to procrastination, but you're really at a state where you're just avoiding to do things. So I'll tell you, for myself, making this pivot to launching Revolution 9 was a huge, I had to literally hit rock bottom. And the universe finally said no, because I was procrastinating, even though I knew that this evolution of business was coming. However, it just wasn't the right time. It wasn't Maria's time. When you get to that point where everything dismantles and it's literally out of your control and you're avoiding to make those changes, whether that is, again, a task, work, whatever that looks like, or even pivoting into a different direction in business like I was. Those are the controls you're going to have to find, you're going to have to release at those egotistical, analytical levels and find that trust within yourself. So again, this is another sure way of constantly avoiding work, those procrastinations, perfectionism. These are ways that we stop ourselves and could be linked to misaligned destiny codes. Another really big one is constantly having to pivot. As entrepreneurs, pivot is an essential. However, if you're finding that you're pivoting continuously, and it's almost like you're going in circles, you get an idea, you implement it, you go through it, doesn't work out. So you pivot on to the next. If this is a continuous pattern of behavior of yours, this could also be another sure telling way that you are misaligned from your destiny code. Everything in your world, another way to show how this shows up at those behavioral levels is doing everything except the things that are pivotal to move you to that next step or to move you to that next evolution. You're avoiding that. You're avoiding doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, that you're meant to be doing. And you're finding other ways, other things to keep you busy so you feel productive. This is another way that being misaligned from your destiny code could show up. Now, let's talk about how this shows up specifically in business. So, first and foremost, clients are not finding you. You're not attracting. So you're putting all this hard work and to sell your product, and you're not finding, and these clients aren't finding you. Even if you have a clear view, a clear understanding of who your ideal client is strategically, if you're not aligned to your destiny code, those clients won't find you. There's an energetic side to everything that we do. And understanding that your own soul codes, like your destiny number, plays an energetic role. So if you're aligned to it, those clients will find you. And the work will not only be passionate, it'll just flow easily and effortlessly. Income plateaus, that you've hit that ceiling of making a certain level. And even when you're strategically setting those intentions, and creating those projections in business, whether that's quarterly, annually, every so many years, however that is, if you're finding that you're not meeting those goals and you've kind of plateaued to that level, this could be another sign that you could be misaligned. However, keeping in mind, a lot of these points that I'm speaking in business, this could also be specific to behavioral signs that you're running certain patterns at unconscious levels that could be stopping you from achieving what you're looking to achieve. And lastly, you're attracting misaligned clients. On my last video was actually all about attracting problematic and difficult clients. So watch the video before this and I go really in depth on how your soul codes play a role in the clients that you do attract and the type of clients that you attract. So this really aligns to your destiny code. Having that clarity on who your ideal client is and being in resonance to that destiny code. And when you're sharing, you're sharing your life's work with them. Never get upset, never get angry. This is all okay. So take your time, and there's things that you're able to create and shift and align to those destiny codes. So if there's a will, there's a way. All right. So now let's have some fun and discuss just very simply the root number destiny numbers and how the aligned and the shadow sides show up in business. So for a destiny number 1 is the visionary leader. So when the visionary leader is not aligned to its code, it shows up in a way of becoming rigid and very stuck and isolated. So the destiny code 2 is the harmonious collaborator. And these are your group leaders with a heart. And when they are exhibiting their shadow side, they have a tendency to self-sacrifice. So martyr archetype. And which as a result makes them feel stuck, depleted, and overworked. For Destiny Code 3, this is the charismatic communicator. So 3 is all about communication and self-expression and joy. So when this code takes on too much of other people's energies or takes on too much of other people's stuff, and they end up suppressing their own voice because they're speaking on behalf of others. So that suppression is a big one for the 3. Destiny Code 4 is the master builder. These are your workers that you could trust. These are the people that build systems, maintain systems, and are extremely loyal. So the flip side is when they become very rigid, unable to pivot outside of their comfort zone, and they become very inconsistent. So when they become very inconsistent, this is the shadow side of the 4. 5 is the dynamic adventurer. This is the number about freedom and change. When the 5 is exhibiting the shadow side, how that could show up is in business is that they're not taking calculated risks and they're taking on very risky opportunities, situations, and they're not finding the balance between their intuition and their logic, and they're just taking risks on a whim. The root number 6, or the Destiny Code 6, is the compassionate teacher. So exactly as that sounds, these are your teachers that, teach, train from a heart level. These are the epitome of the people that are all about the service and responsibility. So the shadow side for the 6 is when they become very irresponsible and they're becoming really, and they're avoiding responsibility. The Destiny Code 7, these are your psychic teachers and analysts. These are your people that get into the nitty-gritty details of any kind of topic that resonate with them, whether those are the deeper spiritual aspects or even on a day-to-day basis. These are your scientists and these are your engineers. The shadow side of the 7 is when they become disconnected to their spirituality. The number 7 is a highly, highly, highly intuitive and a highly spiritual number. So when they are not using their intuition as well as their brilliant logic, they are becoming very disconnected to who they are. So 8, these are your honorable leaders. This is your money manifestation number. These are your corporate. When they are exhibiting their shadow side, they become very stuck. They become very money aggressive. They abuse of power. And sometimes they could even become afraid of being visible. Because these are the people that are frontline, these are your big top people that are meant to be expressed and share. So they might have a shadow side of wanting to be invisible and not wanting to be visible. So the 9 is your inspired catalyst. and humanitarian. These are your beautiful group leaders, that these are the people that are getting out there, that are wanting to serve humanity as a whole. These are the people that head these group life-changing groups that have that humanitarian vibe. These are the leaders of those types of groups and people that they serve. When they're exhibiting their shadow side, they are misusing their emotional energy. Because this is a very heart-centered, compassionate number, they are expensing their energy and they're misusing their energies. So this is just a summary of your simple destiny codes. Now the question is, are you aligned to your destiny code? All right, so this is the time to how you can realign to your destiny codes. So I'm going to share a few little tips with you on how to do so. So first, let's identify your core energetic pattern, that misalignment. So my team and I have created this beautiful entrepreneurial soul code quiz. Click on the link in the description, and that will be your foundational start to kind of get clarity on, are you aligned to that specific soul code or not? Link in the description. That's a great place to start. Second, shift your business to match your destiny code. So I know easier said than done, but believe it or not, it is a lot easier than it sounds. It's not as if you have to go crazy and rebrand and change everything. However, there will be some tasks that you will need to do. So for example, once you get clarity on exactly what your destiny code is, and again, if you don't know what that is, click give me your full birth certificate name in the comments, and I will tell you exactly what destiny code you are. So going back to shifting your business to match your destiny code, this is where you could start aligning certain roles for yourself and your team. You could literally create offers specifically for clients that align with your code and how you communicate your life's work and your offerings. So knowing the details of your code will help you to strategically create these specific changes within your business. The third area is rebuild your identity around your strengths. So knowing your strength. So for example, the number 3 is the charismatic communicator. So aligning with that core destiny code and knowing that and aligning to speaking. And it's the number of self-expression. So expressing yourself, aligned with your code is really going to create that seamless transformation within your business. Clean up your energetic leaks. So this is where boundary setting and intentions come in. So this is a great time. This is a really great time to really have an understanding. So in my previous video about dealing with problematic and difficult clients, I actually walk you through the boundary setting process through that video. So if you want to know the exact steps on how to set, implement, execute, and really respect your boundaries, take a look at that video where I share those steps specifically on setting those boundaries and enforcing the consequences where many people fall short. So, and taking those action steps in focusing on what you want, not what you don't want. We naturally have this inclination of focusing on what we don't want, but focusing on what you want. Set those boundaries, set the intentions, and respect and be consistent. Last but not least, setting intentions, like I just touched upon, for 2026, specific to your destiny number. This is going to be a pivotal step. And stay tuned for my next video that is all about 2026, the cycle year 1, which I'll be touching upon. This is something that's impacting the whole world. We're embarking on new beginnings. Now let's take this opportunity to ground together. I'm going to teach you this very simple and quick technique that will help you to ground and create calm instantly. So if you look straight ahead and look up with only your eyes while keeping your head in a taut position, I want you to take 3 deep core breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now do that 2 more times. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And on that 3rd exhale, I want you to slowly bring your eyes back to its natural state. Good. Now close them. Now I want you to take another deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. You're not stuck because you failed. You're stuck because your soul is trying to get your attention. You came here with a soul blueprint, a unique, energetic signature that guides the way you build, lead, create, and serve. That's right. And when you realign with it, business becomes easier. Decisions become clearer. Momentum returns. And your purpose feels alive again. Now take another deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. That's right. And as you come back to now, I want you to feel that sense of peace, calm, and readiness. And when you're ready, open up your eyes. Good. So now if I piqued your curiosity and you're looking to know exactly what your destiny code is, comment below your full birth certificate name, and I will tell you specifically your destiny code and what that looks like. Also, for anyone that really wants to go more in depth and learn more about their specific code, or if they're aligned to their destiny, day of birth, life path, their main soul codes, take the Entrepreneurial Soul Code Quiz. Link is in the description. And that will even give you the foundational clarity on your main primary soul codes that drive who you are, why you're here, and how you're meant to express. And last but not least, subscribe to the channel if you're looking forward to hearing more about these exciting topics of numerology and how you could use this incredible tool in a practical way in business and your life. My next video is going to be all about setting intentions and New Year's resolutions, and how to create a powerful, aligned business for 2026. So stay tuned, click on the link, and subscribe so you'll be notified when any of my videos or events. I've been doing YouTube lives every other Tuesday at 7 to 8 and giving free numerology readings. However, things are going to be pivoting and things are going to be changing over the next month, over the holidays, and taking a bit of a break. But stay tuned for even getting your own numerology readings live with me in the new year. So until then, subscribe, like, and if you know anybody that would receive value from the information I'm providing, please share. Helps with the algorithm as well. Love you all. Thank you.